Things that I love so much about living in the area that I live in is my ability to walk everywhere. I'm grabbing my backpack and I have a surprise in store for you guys today. So much fun and one of my favorite things to do in the city. So I'll see you soon. Okay. Thank you. How are you? Good. Thank you. There you go. Yeah, that's amazing.
Hey, what up? All right. Your jacket took off?
Our clients they're all really easy. Nobody gets uptight about anything. And most of my clients have been working with for a long, long time. How long? Some of them, like some of my investors, I've been working with for 15 years.
Wow.
It's a really long time. Most of my clients have done, anywhere from 5 or 6 deals. Some I've had agents I've worked with who've done 20 plus deals together. It just depends. It's long. Yeah. And that's what I was saying to you the day that we met, is that real estate is relationships. The real estate sells itself. It's about your relation. Oh, that's only 15 minutes from here. It's perfect. It's perfect. So it'll be super early. And then you can ask all the questions you want.
I'm excited to see. So, how many, I guess, acres is it?
I don't know what the acreage is. It's subdivided.
Okay.
So in some cases, I believe it's already subdivided, which means it's not raw land. So it's already been subdivided for a subdivision. I did not look to see what the acreage was. I know, but I'm going slow. You guys are crazy.
We're really impatient.
People are so impatient. It's like, seriously?
It's bad over here.
Yeah. And make yourself comfortable. Are you comfortable?
I am.
Okay. You can put your bag in the back, on the floor, it doesn't matter. I'm really easy. We get the work done. You'll notice that when I go to appointments, I'm always in sneakers or casual shoes or jeans. Sometimes they're ripped. I'm so beyond that in my life. Once I started really making real money, nobody was dressed like in those uptight suits and all that. People were doing deals in shorts and sneakers and hoodies. Yeah, I was like,
I love that though. It's your choice of what you're gonna wear for the day.
yes. Now, you know, in some circles, that's not okay, right?
Yeah.
Some people are not okay with that. I have gone to closings in athletic gear and some clients don't like it, right? But so you have to like adjust, because the closing is really a big celebration, and some people feel like those kinds of celebrations, you should be super dressed up, like not like event dressed up, but like in professional attire, right? And you kind of follow your client, you know, and how they tend to dress. Like in the first meeting, you always want to be at least business casual.
Okay.
And then like I wouldn't necessarily show up in a sweatsuit to go meet a client. But if I'm selling a house to my brother, then I might.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because what are they really gonna say? Yeah. It's just someone you know.
Yeah, like I literally got a call one day from a client. I had just left the gym, and he was like, oh my God, the house I've been looking at for literally 6 months just hit the market. It terminated. I want to go see it right now. And I was like, right now? And he was like, yes. I said, I just left the gym. He was like, girl, meet me there. Okay, great. It was fine. You know, looked at the house and wrote a contract that day. We went on a contract the next day. I've done deals on the hood of a car. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, what do you mean the hood of a car?
Like, wrote the contract on the hood of the car.
Wow.
So I had this agent I was working with, and she had a client that flew in from Nigeria. Okay. The net worth on this client, like we were looking at the bank statements, and that was just one account. It had like $100 million in it. It was amazing.
Oh my God.
I'd never actually seen that
the
yet
bank account?
the bank account.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that was just one account. So he was flying in to close on this deal. The deal fell through. She calls me. She's on her way to Paris. Her boyfriend is getting ready to propose to her, and she's headed to Paris. And she's like, Tricia, I need your help. And I was like, what's up? She's like, my client is here. I'm literally getting ready to take off. I need that house that you told me about that just hit the market. Can you go show that to him? I was like, sure. Show it to him. Him and his driver meet me at the property. It's my daughter's birthday. And I was like, look, you're buying a house today, sir, because today's my daughter's birthday and I'm supposed to be with her right now.
This is her birthday present. She needs this.
We wrote the contract on the hood of the car. Closed that Monday. Closed? It was
Period.
Friday. We closed Monday. It was, and the only reason we could was I had another investor that was buying it, and that buyer terminated that Friday afternoon. So the title work and everything that the attorneys have to do to prepare for closing was already ready. And I knew that. So when he was like, let's go, and I was like, great. He's like, can you go with me to the closing? I said, sure. He's like, can you go with me to the bank? I was like, sure.
Everything, yes.
Yeah. So I did all that Monday. Then he gets on a flight and he goes off to London to meet his family. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's
Such a
insane.
nice man. Hold on, let me grab this. Excuse me. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Are you headed over there?
I am. A little early, but yeah.
Just drive by there?
Yeah, I was. I didn't see if you sent me a text. I'm actually with my intern, Jade. She's here in the car. She can hear you. Is he gonna meet me out there or no?
Nah, probably not.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you need us to meet you out there?
No, I got it.
Are you gonna take pictures?
I am.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I got it. And I ran the numbers.
Okay,
I looked
cool.
at the numbers this morning. It's high fives. You know, well, it's that range that I told you, the really high fours and up to mid fives. But there's a lot of sold properties. I'll send it to you when I get back.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of some of the stuff they'll do. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're not coming. No, we're fine.
Okay.
You go look at it. You evaluate. Okay. Sometimes that happens. I don't really, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Because they're relying on me to evaluate the opportunity, right? And so I pitched it to them. And he drove by. They want my thoughts on it. Then we talk about funding. Like, how are they going to fund it? How are they going to cover the build costs and things like that? What are days on market? If we build, what's the absorption rate? how long are these properties standing before they go under contract. All those things matter because they have a debt to carry while they're building that community.
So you said there's a debt to carry while this is being built?
Because normally what happens is a builder will take out construction loans to cover the construction costs. They're not normally paying that out of pocket. You're talking about $2 million, $3 million to buy the land, right? So most businesses are not going to take their liquid cash to pay for that. They're going to finance that debt, right? That expense. And then when you are building homes with the intent to sell them, you can get loans to cover that.
When you're like building relationships with people, like how do you like maintain these relationships? Like is it like checking in with them like once a year, like a Christmas card or something?
That's a great question. That's really important, right? And because I'm a relationship person, the check-ins are really easy. It's kind of in the same way that I check in with you, right? I'm just doing it with more people.
Like, oh, hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you? How are things? What's going on, right? So you and I met, and that could have ended right there if we didn't follow up with each other, right? No. You know what I mean? So it's the same kind of thing. And the thing about relationship building is you don't know where the deal is going to come from. It could be them, or it could be someone next to them. It could be a business partner. It could be a family member. It could be someone they met on the train. That's the thing about relationship building. You have no idea where that's going to come from. And that's the kind of cool part too.
My business class, they say, or my professor, he always says, you never know who's going to give you your next job.
You never know. And one of the things that I've gotten so much better about, and I have a little bit of social anxiety.
Really?
I do. I'm a people person, but what I can't predict out there makes me uncomfortable sometimes. Are they stable? Or are we going to just go out and have a good time? Or are they out here doing foolishness? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but what I have done more and more, and I yield to it, is I just follow the spirit on it. I'm guided. Yes, go. And when I go, something always amazing shows up.
Period.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I expect it. Like, even if it's the grocery store, doesn't mean I'm going to an event.
But good things are coming. Like
yes. And it's all a setup. And so the less we overthink, and the less hesitation, or we make a commitment we don't follow through. And I talked to my kid about this. I said, your word has to be good. If you say you're going to be somewhere, you got to be there. You don't know what's waiting for you when you show up.
That's true.
Right? And so the other thing I always say is my emotions have nothing to do with my mind decisions. Because I don't feel like it is not a reason to not show up. It's not a reason to not go to the Thanksgiving party that you got invited to. It's no reason not to pick up the phone and call that person that you said you'd call on Sunday afternoon. Do you know what I mean? It's no reason. But we always let, if we're not careful, we're going to let our emotions rule us. And I think that is one of the things that has yielded, that has really helped me stand successfully in life, even as a young girl, is because I always showed up. I showed up when other people wouldn't show up. And because I always showed up, things always, and then, you had people like, well, why does it always work for you? Because I always show up.
You always try.
I always show up, and I always bring my A game. And that was one thing that my parents always said, you only got one time to make a first impression. So you better come strong, because you may not have another opportunity. You only got one chance, one time. You don't get to hit replay on that. And, it takes fumbling, right? It takes fumbling the ball. When I was younger, I would meet people and I wouldn't know what to say. And I'm like, oh, man, I should have said this. And I didn't. So, you know what I mean? Like, you have those moments where you're like, oh, man.
I know, right? I just missed that. But I also, better is coming.
Yeah.
More is coming.
Yes.
You'll get another opportunity.
Yes.
To
try it again. Yeah. And so you're right. But what it did was it made me sharper.
Yeah. It made me better, like, wake up and be better prepared. I mean, my workday starts at 4. Oh, wow. I get up at 4. Wait, so what time do you go to sleep then? Sometimes at 12 or 1? And then you wake up at 4? I'm at 4 hours. This morning my workday started at 5. What I learned is the more that I have to do, the earlier I have to get up, because I need to be ahead of the day, not tracking behind the day.
So I'm going to just show you. This is what the site. So it's this lot here, or this building, and then this building here for sale.
Okay.
So this is what's already up and constructed here, and then this is what is available for purchase.
Got it.
Okay. So the reason they call them pipe farms is because the pipes are sticking out of the ground, and it's no science really to it. It's no magic, but it's when a development goes belly up, and then this is now available for purchase.
Okay. Okay.
So in evaluating the opportunity, what we do is we look at what the potential is for the development, and what other similar homes are selling for in comparison. And the other townhomes that are selling in and around within a mile from here are selling for the high 400,000s to the mid 500s. So the question is, what kind of changes are we going to have to consider to make this development make sense? Because someone that is going to be buying in the mid 5s is going to have expectations that the community be postured a certain way, right? And so how do we address this and make this more aesthetically pleasing, and incorporate a $500,000 townhome and make it desirable for someone to want to live here and make the money make sense to do the deal.
So what exactly would you be able to change? Like, would you be able to change like the surrounding community? Like, what do you mean by changes that need to be made?
Well, what updates will we have to do to these buildings, existing buildings? What is is there an HOA? What does that look like? What's actually happening in this community? Do we have to update the gates? Like, what needs to happen in order for us to be able to consider building a $500,000 townhome 20 times?
Yeah.
For someone to want to purchase them and live in the community. Is it feasible? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? If we build it, will they come? I mean, it used to be an old adage that said, if you build it, people will come. That's not necessarily the case. So, we have to evaluate this, figure out if there's some updates or modifications that can be done, if that makes good business decision to even take this project on.
Okay.
And that's what we don't know.
Do you have any thoughts right now?
Those are the thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We don't
know.
know.
The thoughts. We don't know.
Okay.
So we have to go and do some digging and figure out what's going on with the HOA here.
Okay.
We would have to bring in, there's just a lot of work that we would have to do to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah. But the initial process is looking at what other properties have sold for in and around the area, similar to what we're considering building, or what's already been zoned to be built here, permitted for building, and see if that makes sense, and then start from there. And then we start looking at what the cost is of acquiring the land, what does the financing look like, what kind of terms, like not only interest rate, but how long will we have, what's average days on market, and how long it takes for something to sell once it's completed. What do pre-sales look like in the area? So a pre-sale is when someone buys it before it's even constructed. So will we have the opportunity to do that, or do we have to build standing inventory to draw people? Those are all things. And the longer that property stays on the market and hasn't sold, the more it costs the developer and the builder. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. So, so then I go back and I run my numbers to figure out if it's even worth doing more discovery, right? And so I take the photos that I've taken today and the video that I've taken today, and then I send it to them with a market analysis.
Okay. And how do you usually get your market analysis? You have a software?
We have different tools that we use, listing tools that gives us that data, and I actually ran numbers a few days ago and then again this morning just to prepare, which I always do before I go into an appointment. I just look at what the data is, and data is what is available for sale and what has sold.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.